So welcome to Pax Europiana. This is now my Durres goodbye tour, and I will show you the city also while leaving. This is the beach promenade I showed you already, and here you see a lot of palm trees, a very beautiful place. It's not Miami Beach, so don't get me wrong. Obviously it's in development, but it will be something similar like that. It's 22 kilometers of prime sand beaches, and it's amazing logistical hub, and it will be completely transformed. And a lot of these skyrise buildings you see already. Here the sea on the right, and this very important or very beautiful sea promenade. You see it here. Also this monument of the victory against the Italians. And here you see the port. And here this major project, I was referring a lot about it from Abu Dhabi, when it will be similar effective. It's the same investor like in Belgrade, who did the so-called Belgrade waterfront redevelopment of the city center. If it will be a similar success, because in Belgrade it's a very big success, this is of course questionable. Here's the old Byzantinian watchtower I showed you already. But here, of course, the key parameters are basically to remove the industrial port. And that's the main port of the Southern Balkans. So here, major planning and governmental efforts still have to be made to make sure the container and the heavy industrial port will be removed to Porto Romano. And that will be, of course, quite a complicated transaction. And on that, everything depends with this investment. Will the government be able to do that? I hope so, and I'm confident actually, because it's really a big opportunity, and the Belgrade project has shown that this is potentially very transformative in the development of a country. And obviously, when now the efforts are going on to have this northern harbor developed as an industrial asset, because this all has to go, obviously. You cannot put the containers and the export of chrome and of heavy ferrochrome is one of the main exports, then to have it parallel here. That's of course, and it's also the main commercial harbor. Basically everything what comes into Macedonia, to a certain extent Kosovo, Albania. There's also Thessaloniki, but most of it comes here. This is the most important harbor after Thessaloniki, and then there's Rijeka basically. So this is really a big project to remove the harbor and the commercial part of it. And when it will happen, and this will be basically then a touristic center only, it's of course, I think, actually a good strategy. So I think that should happen, but it's something. And here you see actually quite interesting, this is also the ferry terminal. That's the biggest ferry terminal in the Southern Balkans, and here massive movement between Albania and Italy is happening, and that's obviously very good. Here on the other side you see also something, the ancient infrastructure. I had to cancel my road trip to Belgrade, but here there is a train station. It's of course more or less defunct, but there is a train service for industrial purposes. So you can bring things from Elbasan. It goes until Elbasan, the industrial center, which the Chinese have built for the communists. It goes until here, and then it goes north towards Podgorica. The Deputy Prime Minister of Montenegro gave a big interview about his recent visit. He was also here this week, and he has made it very clear he has three major strategic impacts. Here you see the big, the former oil terminal. That's already removed to Porto Romano. But Montenegro wants now to do three major projects. That's the highway, the Adriatic Highway, which I have referred so often already. You see here the line up to the ferry terminal. And then you see that the Adriatic Highway, the railway link obviously here to Durres. They want to connect Bar with Durres and build a modern highway infrastructure. And then also the bridge from Ulcin to Velepoje, I was talking about as well a lot. And then to have basically, then the third project was did I make it right? Yeah, that's of course one, to the railway, the highway, and the bridge to Villepoyer. I'm correct. Yeah? These are the three major things he was referring to, and they are really of European significance for tourism development in the region. Yes, the highway, very important, and to have a working railway system which is really also able to transport people, but it's effectively transporting all the industrial goods would be also, of course, additionally to the Porto Romano harbor, a relief for the harbor capacities, and then we would be in a much better condition. Here you see the Durres here's the railway again, in what condition it is at the moment. You've seen it, and you see also some of the poorer quarters. And I will also guide you now on the way towards Tirana. We will do a tour now to the so-called Chirilalzit. That's the second bay north of Durres, which is better developed because it was completely undeveloped until about 10 years ago, and it's more reasonable developed than Durres, which has always been the big port with all its logistic requirements, but also then has been very chaotically touristically developed after the year 2000, with a lot of problems with canalization, wastewater treatments lacking, and also urbanization. And that was basically more the mass touristic development bay, the Durres Bay. And then you have the Lalzit Bay, which is more in higher quality tourism and more family oriented, less discos, more decency from the beginning, a more structured support when it comes to infrastructure, whereas there are major issues as well to be discussed, and I will do that. And then I will be back in Tirana and give you some impression. This was my first small overview over Durres, and this is now the highway. It's not the European highway in Kosovo, but it's the kind of main arteria between the two main cities of Albania. That is the coastal entry, the former capital Durres, and Tirana, where I will spend 2 more days, and I will keep you posted on that one. And now I will make a separate video about the commercial aspects and some economics which you see around here. Thanks a lot for listening. So far from Durres, more to come.